my Taurus babies, what's happening? This is EJ, Tarot. I hope everybody is having a good start to their new year. Having a good weekend. Blah, da, 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 da. What are we doing? This is going to be your weekly update Taurus. We're running Monday through Tuesday. Monday the 6th of January through Tuesday the 14th of January. Seems like a productive week for most of you. Maybe some decisions to be made. I shuffled this deck already. I'm trying to cut my time down. What happens when I go over 30 minutes is I gotta edit videos and combine them and converge them and merge them and some other crap. So I'm gonna try and do as much of the shuffling off camera before I get on as I can to save time, because me sitting here shuffling, I get to talking and I'm still shuffling 5 minutes in. We ain't trying to go through all of that. So this is going to be the weekly update Taurus from January 6th through January 14th. First through proof. Right, okay. Overall energy, a reminder, I do my cards straight up. I don't do reversals. So our overall energy, the front end is the light. Off the back end of your overall, it's authority. Monday, transformation. Tuesday, intuition. Wednesday, victory and success. Thursday, fertility. Friday, spiritual union. Saturday, prosperity begins. Sunday, material and spiritual prosperity. Oh, damn, double up. Monday, power, and the following Tuesday, universe. If I'm just looking at this before we get all the emotional shit tacked on here, obviously we're going through a transformational. Lord Jesus, you thought I had something to drink this morning. I promise I have not. At any rate, it's obvious. We know this already. Let's just talk about some numbers. So Uranus stations direct on the 12th. This should actually be the 13th. Check that out. We're in transformation mode right now. We need to be relying on our intuition to deal with any kind of victory and success. Fertility, that's the creative part of us, the centerpiece and our challenge for the next 7, 8, 9, 10 days. Spiritual union, and those that we're trying to pull closer to us. Prosperity begins. A lot of you in entrepreneurial projects. You might see the beginning. I don't know why I'm not talking today. Of the fruits of your labor, basically. So if you've been trying to put together something, a project, a new business, something creative on the side, you may get a little glimmer of hope here that we move from that to material and spiritual prosperity. You will definitely see some of the physical things that you're trying to manifest begin to come into play. The power, just understanding where our power lies, not so much that we have it, but where is it in the universe, the completion of one thing and the beginning of another. Okay, so from this deck, from the bottom, overall energy, light is pulling strength, authority, pulling the hangman, transformation, pulls the Princess of Wands, intuition, pulls the running man, also known as the Knight of Swords, victory and success, pulls the Nine of Wands, fertility, pulls justice, spiritual union, pulls the Nine of Coins, prosperity begins, pulls the Two of Cups, material and spiritual prosperity, the Eight of Coins, power, pulls the Eight of Swords, and the universe, guarded. So what I said is the end of one thing and the beginning of another, but we're very much in this guarded energy about everything, our money, our emotions, everything, because some of us are dealing with blowback from the holidays. You spent too much, you did too much, and now you're trying to find a little bit of much and you can't find nothing. That's what's right there. With your overall energy this week towards being strength on top of the light, and again, this is about knowing can I say this? Let me take the days off of this. Just forget that this is a week, and let me just look at the energy. It's not just about knowing that you have the strength to do something, but knowing where to apply it. Where do you need to show that you're strong in a certain area? And that it's sitting on top of the light card. It's telling me that the obvious. You need to let your little light shine and show where you are strong. Show your strengths. And that it's in your overall energy. You may be doing this already naturally, but the minute you put it to thought, you overthink it. So the point here is about knowing you've got it. Let your light shine on it, but also knowing when and where to show it. And for some reason with this Uranus transit, there seems to be a dividing line about knowing how to apply something, which is unusual for Taurus because we're bulls, and our object is, if everything is green and yellow and peaceful and dandelions and roses and shit coming up, and we can nibble on some cheese or smell the grass or do whatever we do, we're good. But the minute we see red, we usually don't make a whole lot of big distinction about who it is or what it's about. All we know is we see red, it is time to charge. And the transit with Uranus and Taurus is about knowing, it's about wisdom. Not just having knowledge, but it's about knowing when to apply that knowledge. That becomes wisdom. And so that's a theme that I'm kind of noticing here for the last 5 or 6 months, and it just kind of pops up every once in a while about knowing that you are strong. But knowing when to let that little light shine, when you need to do that. You're doing it, but applying it, there's a difference. On the back end of your overall energy with the Hangman, if that were reversed, wouldn't just be about you seeing it from a different perspective, but actually going back and looking at how you have perceived your power and authority in different situations. And this is, again, your overall energy, but it's you really taking a look back. You already know that you have to change how you're looking at things, but looking back and seeing how you were looking at something before. You thought you had a change in perspective before, and you realized you really didn't get a change. You just thought you were changing, but now you have to look back. How was I looking at this situation before versus how I'm looking at it now? And where is there some wiggle room on either side? Because you may need to go back and readjust how you're looking at something now, so you can see the whole picture. We get into the week, obviously we're going through transformation, and again, like I said, that Uranus is stationing direct 11th to 12th, might as well just throw the 13th in for good measure. This is a pivotal point because we're stepping into now a different part of our transformation. Last year was about just knowing you needed to change. Again, it's that same energy about understanding now where can I make changes? Where do I need to change? Where do I need to adjust my already adjusted thinking? Just saying, it's there. With this, some of you may have a little bit of wanderlust. Some of you may hear news about traveling, going somewhere. Some of you may be considering moving somewhere else, starting a business, going to a different place than where you are. The tendrils that are poking out of this are really about uprooting where you are because you're not happy there or you're not feeling fulfilled for whatever reason. This is the time to start looking at the map. And this is the time to start talking to people about where maybe you can make an impression somewhere else other than where you are. Stepping out of your comfort zone and getting into another situation so that you can begin the transformation and the growth process that you started last year with Uranus. The Knight of Swords on top of the intuition, this is about, again, it's that fine line of knowing what's good for you, especially romantically. what you should be chasing and what you shouldn't be chasing. That's the best way I know how to put that energy into words. And usually that requires you have to follow your intuition. Just solely rely on what's in your brain. Your brain sometimes can fuck you up because it will have overanalyzed something while you were sleeping, and you just think, oh, well, if I do this and I do this, I'm going to get this, but you're not following your intuition, which means you're not picking up on the nuances of the situation. Don't get caught doing this, all up in your head, chasing some shit that's not chaseable. And this could be work related too. You may be in a situation where you feel like you somebody there owes you a promotion, or you need to be doing something different, and maybe it's just time for you to pack the fuck up and move the fuck along, instead of staying in the same little situation, run around, a horse chasing you and you chasing the horse, and don't nobody know what's going on, and you don't even feel like you're making any forward progress because you're chasing the wrong shit. And this is going either way. I said romantic, maybe more professional for some of you than others. Those of you that are in relationships and you're just chasing after the same little pipe dream, and the pipe dream keeps running around and you can't catch it, maybe that's a signal that you need to be chasing something else. When we get to Wednesday's energy, victory and success with the Nine of Wands on top, it's about not exaggerating, today. It's about not exaggerating your position where you are, understanding that you do have the victory and you are successful wherever this is resonating, whether it's love or professional life, but not over exaggerating, not letting your brain catch on fire, and not becoming too cocky with the success. At the end of that, about remaining humble. Yeah, you got it, but it's no reason for you to, ride around with ribbons on your horns talking about, yes, I'm a queen of the king bull, and I did. You don't have to go through all that. Remain humble and don't exaggerate any part of your position. Looking at Thursday's energy later in the week, the Justice on top of the fertility. Many of you in creative endeavors. Maybe you're doing your gig economy thing full time, or maybe some of you are trying to come up with some ideas to do some things. Remember to remain in balance. Any legal issues that are surrounding said businesses, in your favor all day, but just try to keep things in balance, not just you emotionally, but on all sides. If you're doing a project, making sure you're not the only one kicking in, making sure that you have the right facts and figures to do what you're doing. That balance, that fine balance, and when everything is just right, and that's the the energy you're trying to reach, making everything is just the way that it should be, particularly in creative endeavors. Sometimes when we're doing creative stuff, starting side businesses or a full-time business, we have a tendency to over-focus on one area or the other. Oh my God, I got human resource responsibilities. I don't know what to do, and blowing shit out of proportion. Coming back to that, over-exaggerating. It's a creative thing, and so it's going to flow different than a structured thing. Y'all work with me here. Just make sure that you have things in balance. Nobody's doing more. Nobody's got more. Just make sure you got that fine line going, particularly with paperwork that you may be submitting for said business. Make sure everything is the way that it should be on said paperwork. Make sure all your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. We get to Friday, and your centerpiece challenge. A lot of you are trying to strike this. Again, it's about balance. This level of commitment with someone. It's about your spiritual unions here now, and creating a higher standard. But it's the same doggone energy. Where in your relationship do you need to create the standard? Because it's not going to be just an across-the-board thing, one size fits all. Oh, we need to achieve this, and we need to be here. Okay. What are the details to that? And this is the challenge. Where are the details? Where do you need to go back and readjust your perspective on what's going on in your life? Where do you need to realize you got the strength, But when, when exactly do I show this or exhibit this or let this out? Yeah, your light shining, but does everybody need to know? And then of those that do need to know, who needs to know what part? I know it gets complicated. It's like working a damn math problem, but that is the energy here. And so in your romantic relationship, and I don't know why it's coming back romance, but it most certainly is, knowing where sometimes bulls can be hard riding. No pun intended. But sometimes, if you've ever seen a herd of bulls, like the running of the bulls in May of every year in Spain, they just running. They don't give a damn. You in the way. I'm so sorry. You got gored up the butt. Too bad. And we just apply it across the board. Y'all feel what I'm saying? This energy is asking you to take a step back and look at what part of my relationship do I really need to be trying to create a higher standard. Because sometimes we can be ridiculous with rules and you can't do this and I want it like, because we're creatures of habit. So we like things to flow a certain way. Universe is asking you to take a step back. And can we just let the energy flow without so much safeguards and plan B's and plan D's? Can we do that? It's your challenge for next week or so to look at your relationship, your spiritual union. Male, female, whatever, however y'all doing your thing. And does everything have to have, we have to have everything? Do we really? Is it necessary? Or is there a point somewhere in our relationship where we can kind of let the creativity just flow without us, having a date, a timeline, a planner? Let me tell it like it is. Big ass calendar. I'm just saying, does everything have to be broken down into its nth degree for us? Or is there a point somewhere in our relationship where we can say, you know what, I don't have to be an asshole about that particular thing. Go ahead and do you, boo-boo. You like to eat oatmeal on Saturday morning at 7:50 every Saturday. Go ahead, do you. Whatever. Some things, we need to know what to let go of and what to hang on to. If I had to just encapsulate all of this energy, that's really what this is about. Knowing what to hang on to and knowing what to let go of. And sometimes it's not always as easy as it sounds. When we get to Saturday's energy, prosperity begins with Two of Cups. And let's just do these two together since it's pretty much about the same thing. This prosperity is about the love in your heart. I'm just saying. And what is growing out of our relationship. And this is going to require a little bit of explanation. What is growing out of your relationship? You got a whole bunch of bullshit ass chaos, or do you have peace and serenity in your home? I'll say it again. What kind of prosperity are you prospering with? What you growing down there? Is this peace and prosperity, or is this chaos and drama? And knowing what's getting ready to come. What you sow in the ground is what's going to come up. I'm going to say this way. I don't necessarily mean it, but as harsh as it sounds. But what you allow your partner to sow with you is what's going to come the hell up out the ground. This is relationship. This is the other kind of prosperity. Money, finances. The repetition that you put into your work. Are you producing enough to get this? I'm just asking. It's the same thing. What are you sowing into your work? What kind of soul are you putting into your little creative thing right here? What are you sowing? Because you're going to reap. So if you're doing a whole bunch of half-ass bullshit on your business, you can forget about the two fountains just flowing up. You can just forget that. Because one of them going to be broke if you half-assing on some shit. And it's going to flow right back to you. Well, Susie, how come there's only one fountain working? Well, I thought I had. What are you sowing into your work? And what are you sowing into your relationship? Because you're going to get exactly what's going in. If you ain't putting in the time, then you're going to get a tree with half the leaves missing. I'm just saying. If you're not showing the humility and compassion that you need to be showing in your relationship. Same thing. Same thing. You see them two hands back there? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And this is on the other side of that. This is work. So this probably is a bigger theme for the week. What are you sowing into your work? Because you're going to reap. And if you didn't put all the right, you ain't going to get all the right. I'm just saying. Same here. If you're allowing people to help you sow, and they're keeping up drama and chaos, you're going to get a drama and chaos streak. Just that simple. When we get to next Monday's energy, it's just what I said. You got the power, but now, you know, how are you applying the power? Where's the power dynamic? And are you letting your beliefs and some bullshit hold you back? And that's that air energy. That's that in your head shit. The air in your face. Yeah, I said it. Are you letting the air in your face fuck up your long-term plans? Because you got these blinders on. Once again, the air in your face. And do you know where the power dynamic is? Something to think about. And again, that's the energy all right here. You know, where do I apply? When do I show my strength? When do I let my light shine on my strength? When do I adjust my already changed perspective? Where does that need fine-tuning? Just saying. Same here. And what beliefs are keeping you stuck on stupid? The air in your face. You heard me. Then we get to Tuesday. The finishing of one thing, the starting of another. This can be finance or romance, either way, even though it's the finance card right here. But you're guarded on every front. So depending on, this is not going to resonate with everybody. Eat the fish, leave the bones. Depending on, let me just put it what it is. What you've sown, come on now, and what you've gotten back, you could be guarded. Romantically, if you've been, you know, just turning around in your head with how bad you've been hurt and, you know, what kind of asshole the last person was and this and that and the other, and you done ended that shit, but you're getting ready to enter into some new shit. What are you sowing? What are you trying to manifest? I understand the guarded energy. You've been hurt before and you don't want to be hurt again, but you can manifest that same energy into the next situation if you don't let that energy go. I know it is easier. It feels better when you're angry and you're mad and you can talk about some bitch because he hurt you or she hurt you or what an asshole. I hope their whole life is fucked up. That's a lot of negative energy. And like I did in another reading a couple weeks ago, and I was talking about dipping the spoon in the pudding and you wiping the back of that spoon across the counter, and that first blow of pudding is right there, but when you get down here, shit's over. You still got little streaks of pudding on the counter. That's you carrying and schlepping around that old ass energy, not understanding that's what you sowing into a new relationship. Ooh, what? My last boss was an asshole. He was such a jerk. Fucker. Yeah, see, you sowing that, you know, sitting at work doing your thing and you got all that nasty, negative, toxic shit in your head, and then when you get to the final product, how come I don't have all my trees? Because you too busy arguing and bitching and moaning about some old shit. So no, you're not going to reap this. If you don't put this in, you're not going to get this out. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let's see what the oracle cards have for us, Taurus, for this upcoming week. It can actually be a very good week if you lay back and just kind of let the energy come to you. Kind of this, what we're talking about here, we're so busy trying to create that doggone higher standard. We miss it all because, you know, you can't do this. Only thing I need on the board right now is the King or Queen of Swords. Just that business, you know, I don't want this over here. You put that in that one. And can you just let your relationship flow without everything being down to the minute? Does everything have to be the way you want it? Oh, come on, y'all. You've got 1, 2, 3. Major cards on the table. Strength, the Hangman, and the Justice. 1, 2, yeah, 3. A little air, a little money, a little emotional, a little fire. But this can be a good week. Just lay back. Just lay back. I promise you, shit's gonna happen. If you're not standing in the middle of the floor, shit is still gonna happen. But instead of you being the focus, because we know you're strong, we know you got the insight, we know you got it all, stepping back and letting things come to you and see what you attract. See what you're sowing out there into the universe. Remember to breathe. Claim your boundaries, doggone it. Vibe check. Be grateful. Call your joy guides. Feed your spirit. Let me just put this where it should be. Be challenged. Breathe, damn it. You don't need everything your way. Everything don't have to be signed, sealed, and delivered to Taurus the bull. Breathe. Breathe. Let your partner be who they are without you trying to manipulate, and not even manipulate. Just control every end, every aspect of everything. Let some shit go. Go get a glass of wine, a glass of water, whatever. But remember to breathe. This is just life, baby. It is not that serious. If the person you're dealing with, if you love them and they love you, let them do what they're doing. Now, I'm not asking you to allow somebody to be abusive to you. You know I ain't for that shit. Mentally, physically, none of that. But if we are just dealing with the fact that, you know, every time your partner pulls up in the driveway, they like a half inch over the line. And it doesn't matter that they're a half inch over the line because you still got another 200 feet of driveway. Is it really necessary to make an issue out of that? If your partner don't take the garbage out till an hour after you say it, does that need to be blown out of proportion? I'm just saying. Remember to breathe, Taurus. Claim your boundaries. Claim your boundaries. Know what it is that you're trying to create. Bring all of that into balance, and then claim your boundaries. Claim your boundaries. Know where things start and where they end. A lot of times we get, especially with creative projects, we kind of, you know, want to have everybody doing everything, and you know, you do this and this and that. Claim your boundaries. Whatever it is that you're responsible for, you claim those boundaries. Vibe check. That's exactly where I will put this right here. You're ending something and beginning something else. Maybe you need to do a vibe check on you. Where your vibes at? What you doing? How you rolling with it? Be grateful. Everything that's going on in your life is going on for a reason. Be grateful. Remember, there's somebody that's not doing as well as you. Be grateful for what you have and for what you're experiencing. Call on your joy guides. There's no sense in walking around mumbling and being hateful and shit. Call on your joy guides. I know, it's like, what the hell is that? Just call them and see what happens. I promise you, it'll lighten you up and make some of the situations that you're dealing with a little smoother because you're not so tense. At the end of this, feed your spirit. I don't care what you're doing, listening to music, rapping, jazz, classical. You don't like music, you like art, you like good movies, whatever it is, feed your spirit. You're no good to anybody if you are half of you. So that means that sometimes during the day or during the week, you have to call a time out so you can take care of you and do something that feeds you and makes you feel good, Taurus. I'm just saying. I love you guys. I'm going to leave your reading there. I hope everybody has a good week and a good rest of the beginning of the new year. You know what I'm saying. Have fun this week. Love y'all. Bye-bye.